surrender to you completely. All glories to Sri Radheshyam. All glories to all saints and sages. All glories unto the Devas. All glories unto all aspiring souls. May you all achieve love for Sri Radhe Krishna. On the subject of surrender, many people in the world practice a form of religion in which they quote the scriptures, they sing songs of praise to God, they may bow down, they may offer charity, they may do all kinds of religious looking practices, but those practices remain ritualistic if they're only performed by your senses and your body. The mind has to surrender. The mind is dirty, and it is the mind that has to get purified so that you can receive the grace of God, which can only come about when the mind becomes purified. It's why there's 3 facets of sadhana, this devotion. Devotion has 3 facets. Sadhana, which means practice. Bhav bhakti means your practice is bearing the fruit of your practice, called bhav, which means you begin to feel emotional experiences, such as tears will flow from your eyes when you're worshiping God, when you remember His beautiful pastimes, when you remember His mercies, when you remember His activities. It brings about loving sentiments such as tears. You get goosebumps, there'll be a trembling in your heart and in your body. You may break out in perspiration. These are symptoms of love for God, just like there are symptoms of love in the world. When a young boy and a young girl miss each other, they may cry for each other. In the same way, the same mind that can love someone in the world, that same mind has to love God. And through practice, you can love God, just as through practice you love someone. Before you met someone that you fell in love with, when you met them, you weren't in love. You started seeing them, saying to yourself, oh, she's very beautiful, she's very kind, she has a lot of good qualities, and you think of her again and again. 1 million times you think of her, you're in love. In the same way, you can develop love for God. So the first, you have to practice to love God. This is called sadhana. Then you will experience emotional symptoms of that love. And then when the mind becomes purified by your practice, God Himself will give you His divine love, which is called prem bhakti. God has 3 unlimited powers. God has unlimited powers, but 3 main unlimited powers are called Satchit Anand, which is that He is eternally existing. Not only will He exist in the future eternally, He is also without beginning. The universe, the material universe, comprised of the 5 lifeless elements: water, earth, air, fire, and space. These elements is what the entire universe is made up of, including your body and everything you see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Everything in the material realm is made up of these elements. These elements are eternal, but they're insentient. They're lifeless. And Sat Chit Anand. God is the life of everything that you see that has life. So the soul and God are eternally existing. There was never a time that you and I, nor God was born, nor will there be a time that we will cease to be. So the soul enters into the mother's womb through the father's sperm. The sperm is alive, and when the soul which lives in the sperm is conceived in the mother's womb in the egg then becomes, the conception takes place, and then the egg is alive. The egg has no life until the sperm enters into that egg. So the soul is within the father's seed. And the soul, then the body grows and the child grows and becomes a child, a youth, an adult. And then when the body is useless, it dies. And then the soul, according to your karmic account, what you sow, you will reap. You will be placed again in another form that you deserve. So the soul is eternally existing, and God also is eternally existing. And God can come into this world as He has done countless times in countless divine bodies. The Lord has come to this world many times, but His body and His activities when He comes to this earth are all divine. Unlike us, who we have material bodies. When God comes to this world, He looks like He's bleeding. He looks like He's sick sometime. But all of this is just what is called Leela, His play. So God is eternally existing. In this world, He exists in a formless aspect that permeates and pervades every material energy. He is the energy of all energies. That's called the unified field. In quantum physics, it's known as the unified field. That is the energy that supports electromagnetism, gravity, the weak force and the strong force. All of them are supported by God's energy called Brahman. The underlying, the sheet that sustains everything. So that's one aspect of God. Then He is in form of Paramatma. He resides in each one of us, each soul, each one of us who are souls. God is the resident within each soul. And it is described in the scriptures that Ya Atmani Tishtati. God is residing within each soul, and He gives to the soul life, intelligence, ability of the senses, the ability of the mind, the ability of the intellect. All of these abilities are coming from God who resides in the soul, you and I. So that is called Sat, existence. And Chit means that He is the knowledge of the past, present, and future. God knows what happened in the past. He knows what's happening right now. And He knows what's going to happen in the future. He is aware of all three time experiences, and time is relative to where you are. The angels in the higher planetary systems, our day today is their past. If you look at the closest solar system, which is Regius in Alpha Centauri, the closest solar system to ours, what you're looking at, if you look at it tonight, you're looking at 4.3 years ago. Although you're seeing the light right now. Why? Because light takes 186,000 miles per second to reach your eyes from that distance where Alpha Centauri is. When you look at the sun, you're looking at 8.3 minutes ago. Why? Because traveling at the speed of light the sunlight that you're experiencing right now, it took 8.3 minutes to get to you. So everything, time is relative to where you are in the universe. So it's why the angels know what we're doing before we know what we are doing, because time is relative. All time is present according to where you are in the universe. So that is Chit. God resides in each soul. He makes note of all your karmic account, which means your thoughts, your actions, and then He gives you the fruit of those thoughts and actions through your interaction with the rest of the people of the world and the rest of the world. Also, everyone that you are in touch with, whether favorable or unfavorable experiences, you all have an intermingling of a karmic account that you deserve what you're getting from each other. So don't blame God for any of your experiences, because He only gives you the fruit of your actions. So it means you can do what is good, think what is good, and then do what is good, and then you can ensure your future to be one of good experiences. So all your experience in this world is due to the fact of what you sow, so shall you reap. And this has been going on for countless lives. So Chit is God's knowledge ability. And then there's Anand. Anand means bliss, love, bliss, potency. In this love, bliss, potency is where we are seeking after. Until we attain this love, bliss, potency, we will not be satisfied. As you know, everyone is doing everything that they're doing with the hope of being happy. Being a part of God, we naturally desire happiness, because God is happiness. That's why He is called Anand, bliss. Bliss means ever increasing joy. That's what we want, and we will not be satisfied until we get such a joy. Everything that we have experienced so far in the world has given us limited moments of pleasure. You went to a party, you had a big sport up, you drink up, you got drunk, you laughed and enjoyed and danced, and next morning, where did the joy go? Instead, you're now suffering from a hangover, you may have vomited, you're in a mess. So this is not real joy. Real joy is Anand, ever increasing, while the pleasures that we enjoy in the world is ever decreasing. The pleasures of the world has they call it diminishing returns, meaning the longer you indulge in something, the less potential of joy you can get from it. Like you've all seen movies, and you see a really good movie, everyone is speaking about it. But if you watch it twice, it's okay. Thrice, then you get disgust. Never mind how good it is. So everything in the world, including sex, including food, including whatever you indulge in, it has what is called diminishing returns. The longer you indulge, the less satisfied you become with it. So bliss is the opposite. In the divine realm, in that divine kingdom called Vaikuntha, when you taste something, it tastes better each time. You never get filled, because it's a different scenario there. When you see something there, it keeps increasing in its beauty. Whatever you enjoy in that divine realm keeps giving you continuously higher and higher levels of enjoyment forever. While in this world, what you're experiencing is that everything, when your belly is full, food is tasteless. When you have had an orgasm, then the woman becomes burdensome. Everything you indulge in this world is in diminishing returns the potential to give joy. It's your experience. So you can only get bliss from God. So it behooves you now to try to get to know God. To get to know God, you have to follow the precepts of righteous behavior. Sanatan Dharma means the eternal principles of righteous conduct. Now, all religions have these precepts. The Bible has the 10 Commandments. In the Quran, God says that I've made you from a single pair of male and female into tribes and nations. And let it be known to you that whoever is the most righteous is most honored in my sight. So in all the religion, there is an advocation, a propagation of righteousness, of purity, of holiness. This is one of the precepts of surrender. That anakul sankalpa, which means one should have pure thoughts which will bring about pure actions. As you know, your actions are born of your thoughts. So where surrender is concerned, the first precepts, of which there are 6, God is saying in the scriptures, in the Munduk Upanishad, as in all other scriptures as well, that you have to do that which is pleasing to God. God is a pure person, a holy person. And before you can be brought into his fold, you have to give up negatives and impurity. And it's the mind that has to do this. The mind is that which is impure, and it is the mind that has to become pure. And how does the mind remain impure? By desiring impure things. If you're constantly wanting more than you need in this world, then you will want to tell a lie to get what you want. You may want to cheat to get what you want. You may want to be outsmart. If you have bad intentions, you will tell the girl all kinds of things just to get her into bed. So all of this, God is giving you your negative experiences, because what you sow, you're reaping. If you're lying and cheating and being a smart person to get what you want, this is making you impure. So if you do that which is right, then you have no reason to lie, isn't it? So we are causing sin to be our experience, the negative reaction of sin to be our experience, because we are desiring more than we need. And we are not doing things that is pleasing to God in that way. So this is called anakul sankalpa. Then we need to practice as well. The second principle that we need to practice is pratikul varijat. Pratikul varijat means doing that. Don't do that which displeases God. First, anakul sankalpa means doing that which pleases God. And to emphasize the importance of righteous behavior, the second precept is not doing that which displeases God. And as you all know, lust displeases God, anger displeases God, because in anger you can hurt people. In anger you can murder. And greed, which one of the greatest problems there are, because everyone is running for more than they need, and in their greed they may even kill their mother and their father to get their property. You may out of greed create divorces and all kinds of things, and you may cheat people. So pratikul varija. Don't do these things that is displeasing to God, and not only to God, is displeasing to yourself and to others. Because if you cheat someone, ask yourself, would you like to be cheated? If you're lying all the time to satisfy your self-interest, why are you upset when you find out someone is lying to you? You see, what I'm trying to say is that all the noble qualities, all the values of godliness is within each soul. Because we are a child of God, and God resides in us, and He is our conscience. We need to start listening to our conscience. Then we will avoid doing wrong things. So, number 3, where surrender is concerned, is Shraddha. One should have firm faith that, look, who is living in my heart? As I said earlier, the Divine Lord, in one of His countless expansions, is called Paramatma. And that Paramatma, Para means supreme, Atma means pervading. We are pervading this body, the soul is pervading this body, and God pervades the soul and gives it the ability that it has. So God is living in you, and we need to practice the awareness of His presence. And then you will be aware also of His presence in everyone you interact with. And this way you will be good. This way you will see that, oh, I cannot cheat this person because God is there. And this way, when someone is being not nice to you, you can still see that God is there, and it must be what I deserve. Maybe I've offended someone, and now I'm experiencing the reaction of my past offenses. This way, your mind will remain stable in both what is favorable and unfavorable experiences. This is called yoga. Yoga is not sitting in your physical body, sitting in a flat-up position on the floor. No, yoga is of the mind. When the mind becomes stable through your acceptance of negative and positive experiences, the mind will become balanced, steady. And this is necessary because this world is a place of duality, isn't it? You go through night and day in this world. You will go through what is pleasant and what is unpleasant. You go through birth and death. You go through sickness and health. All of these are telling you that you will have an inevitable experience also in the future of both what is positive, both and negative, both what you like and what you dislike. Yoga means that you learn to accept the flow of events, whether positive or negative, with a balanced mind, with an intelligence of neutrality. You're thinking of it, and you understand that all that I'm going through, positive or negative, gain or loss, it's my karmic account. You see, God is giving us the power to act and think, but He is never acting and thinking. That it depends on us. He's like GPL. He gives the power, and you can use it for the microwave. You can turn on the TV. You can turn on your music. Whatever you want to use, the power is up to you. So in the same way, God is the powerhouse. He gives the power to the soul, and what the soul does with it, that the soul becomes responsible. That is what karma is. What you sow, you reap. So my dear aspiring souls, you have to have faith that God lives in you, and have faith in the promises that He has given to the soul. If the soul completely surrenders to Him, God says that Anta kalecha mameva smaran mugva kalevaram yapra tisam madbhavam yati nasyatra samseha. I promise you this, that whoever leaves this world only attached to me in a state of purity, that he attains my state. Of this there is no doubt. So God again says, Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraj. Aham tvam sarva papabhyo mokshashami masuchaha. Listen, I promise you this, that just give up all kinds of activities, all kinds of religious practices, and surrender to me alone. And what I'm telling you of today are the precepts, or what the 6 principles of surrender given to us by the scripture. So have faith in God's words, his promises, and live. And God says that whoever surrenders to me alone, don't worry about all the sinful reactions in the past, present, and in the future. Aham tvam sarva papib. I will protect you from the sinful reactions of all the past, present, and future sins. If you are 100% surrendered. What does that mean? That there's no one else in your mind, no one else that you're attached to. Why? Because you, the soul, only are attached to God eternally. Why? God has been with you before this life. He is with you right now, and he alone will be with you when this body is finished. Everyone else is a temporary relationship. So continue to be loving in the world with everyone. Be nice, serve everyone, do what is good. But understand that it's only God that is mine. You see, you get attached to what you think is mine. This is a delusion to think that anyone related to your body or anything related to your body is mine. Only God is mine. Why? Because he is with me in the past. He is with me right now, and he will be with me in the future. So have faith that he is with me and he is mine. Then you must have santosh, contentment, simple living, high thinking. Aspire to understand God and love God and leave this body with God alone in your mind. Santosh. This means living with the bare essentials. Just keep the body healthy. And the 5th is aparigraha. Don't consider anything my own. Why? Because all that you consider my own is left here when you die. So it's foolish. Only God is my own. And the 6th principle of surrender is dinata. Dinata means being humble. One of the names of God is Dina Bandhu. He is only related, he only has relationships with who is humble. He gives grace to the humble and he resists the proud. So my dear children of God, understand that you must practice surrender to God by first doing what pleases him. Don't do anything that displeases him. Have faith that he lives in you and he's taking care of you and guiding you. Have understanding that you must practice contentment. Understand that nothing is my own and only God is my own, and practice humility. Thank you very much. Please do so next time. We'll continue this subject. Jai Shri Radhe.
That was a paid program, and the views and opinions expressed are those of the host and other speakers and do not reflect the views and opinions of TVG Channel 28.
There is a reason why TVG Channel 28 is Guyana's #1 television station. We are the home of one of the nation's most watched television newscasts, The Evening News, with an unmatched national reach, the best in children's content, music, movies, and daily soap